Yes. All right. There we go. No, we're on. All right. Awesome. Anime-Niacs are back.
Let's go.
Yet again.
We are on episode Polish My Blazing Sword. I'm Max.
I'm Scott.
I'm Dan.
And we're your Anime-Niacs. Today we're going to be discussing two things of we went from like far left to far right.
I was kind of hoping.
Not in a political spectrum.
I saw the Hellboy and I was like, let's do it.
Oh, I mean, I was mildly down for this when Dan purchased it fucking months ago. But
last month, sir.
Okay, well, a month ago. But yeah, it turned out to not be that great. We watched
which is an understatement.
Yeah. So we watched Hellboy, Hellboy animated Sword of Storms.
Not to be
in case you were confused that it's not animated, even though there's nothing on the cover to give you the idea that
not to be confused with book 3 of Game of Thrones, A Storm of Swords.
No.
No.
It's definitely.
Excuse me, A Song of Ice and Fire.
Yeah,
Game of Thrones is the first.
Game of Thrones.
Let's get it right.
You're gonna have these freaking
George R. is gonna.
You're gonna have these Ice and Fire nerds breathing down our throats. Freaking like,
Ice
oh
and
my
fire
god,
nerds are like, they're like the old Asians.
So bad.
Some on fire, some are like encased in
At
ice. They
the
just
same
show up
time.
at your front door, like, hey,
It's like a giant steam bath everywhere you go.
Awesome.
All right, so yeah, Hellboy, Sword of Storms, from creative producer Mike McNulty. So they were just producers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm sure Guillermo del Toro was in his office like, "Hey, can we put your name on this?" He's like, "Yeah, sure, whatever."
How much?
yeah.
No. He's like, "Can I put your name on this? Can I have $10,000?"
It's not like $50,000.
Yeah, because there was like no budget
No.
for like the art is subpar.
Well, we were talking,
It's Mignola-esque, but it's not.
It feels like an
Good.
animated show. Like it feels like a Saturday morning, like Fox
Yeah.
Kids.
Yeah, it definitely would have made it with that, like, because we were saying what Godzilla and Men in Black, in that era.
Hey Arnold.
It would
Hey
have.
Arnold, yeah.
Actually,
Hey Arnold was
actually,
leaps and bounds better than
yeah.
this.
I can't do my bro Hey Arnold. Like that. Hey Arnold.
Gerald, man, you gonna do Gerald like that, bro? But yeah, it's So we skipped a good 30 minutes because this thing is an hour and 20 minutes long, and that is just unnecessary.
It felt like it could have been condensed down to like a 30-minute.
They could have easily cut 20 minutes out of it at least.
Well, let's say 45.
Yeah, so it's like there's an ancient Japanese
secret.
Yeah, kind of
Chinese.
Oh, damn it.
But yeah, the folklore legend, and it's about this guy who kills the thunder and lightning demons.
Thunder.
And in doing so, he betrays a promise made by his master. So he gets cursed for eternity, and the love of his life is constantly waiting for him. She becomes a ghost or some crap like that.
You got much more out of this than I did.
Yeah, I was paying attention for 5 minutes.
Oh,
just the right 5 minutes.
Like the Samurai Jack-esque animation part.
Yeah, when wrong ago, when this dude's getting all hopped up on scroll, right?
Yeah.
He's mainlining scroll.
That was the best part.
Scrolled off his ass.
Yeah, and
Scrolled
then he
off
gets freaking, what is it called when a demon inhabits your body?
Possessed.
There you go. That's the word I'm looking for. He gets possessed by the thunder and lightning demons, and they go about trying to unleash themselves on the world.
Now, being possessed by the thunder and lightning demons might sound kind of fun, but it turns you into a roly-poly hunchback kind of dude.
Yeah, you're like a fat golem.
Yeah.
And
red. Not gonna like that.
Yeah, and it just gets more and more red as time passes. So the part we skipped, Hellboy somehow gets sucked into the demon dimension.
He's in the scroll.
He's in
the scroll. There's foxes. All right. Can we talk about the foxes?
No.
Random foxes that may or may not be real that just pop up on this DVD every now and again, and it's not like a pushable button. It doesn't do anything.
There's just a fox on the screen.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because we're watching it like on the Xbox, because usually when that shit happens, that means that you like press the button for the extras or something.
I'm pretty sure it didn't ask us if we wanted
no,
developer commentary on.
Stupid developers, I don't want to hear you.
Production, creator commentary, whatever.
Yeah, but the fox just kept showing up on the bottom of the screen, and honestly, it was better drawn than half.
I mean, it might just be that the movie is so bad we were having a mass hallucination.
A shared mass hallucination.
I would like to think that I would hallucinate something better than that.
Well, you don't get to pick.
A pixel fox.
Well, yeah, but my subconscious would just be like, that's not enough to take that movie away. I mean,
I feel bad for Ron Perlman.
I don't. He got a paycheck.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you just want Ron Perlman to be in good Hellboy stuff.
He's in good stuff in general, and it's like, it's like when Bill Murray was in those Garfield movies. Like,
I never saw those.
No, yes, all right, let's not talk about that.
Okay. I mean, this is at least he's kind of headlining this.
I would rather watch this than Alien Resurrection.
No,
it is shorter.
Alien Resurrection is much funnier than this.
I mean, if I'm looking for a comedy,
over this, anything. I'd rather watch Titanic than this. No, it's so they got the whole cast. They got Selma Blair, Ron Perlman, and Doug Jones,
and they do nothing with them.
No, like the voice acting is really flat.
Yeah,
like,
which is like these dudes are like, hey, they called him up on the phone, like, morning, like, hey, what's up? Can you read these lines for us just over the phone real quick? Yeah, I guess. All right, cool. We're making a movie.
Yeah, that was it. Like, they didn't even
Yeah.
bother going over. It's like,
we'll send you a check.
Thanks. They're like not even sure it actually happened. They're like half drunk when they did it.
They probably called him in and said, "Hey, this is your, a narration of an ebook." And so they just sat there and they read like 5 pages. And they're like, "All right, we're good. We're making a movie." And they just leave.
Yeah, that's
that's
really
what it
flat.
sounds like.
Yeah. The animation is just not good.
Subpar.
It's like, what's below subpar?
Subpar?
Yeah.
It's
double subpar.
Double subpar.
Sub-Zero.
Like, yeah. Fight. So at the end, so Hellboy's walking through Demon Dimension.
Yeah.
He has a sword. He fights a turtle and gets a sword.
Oh, and then they pad everything out by bringing a bunch of yokois and like a kappa, which is the turtle with the weird little thing in his head.
Yeah. And okay, so like that thing comes along, right? And it's like, if you spill the water out of its head, it's got to answer questions, right? But then it'll dry up. But then if you get water back in its head, it'll come back to life, right? I mean, that was we was kind of assumed because he's like, don't get any water on it.
Yeah.
So it still be alive.
So he asked it, so like, yeah, he spills the water out of his head. It's dying. It's drying up, I should say. And it's got to answer his questions. And he's like, hey, what's this? What's that? And then he goes to ask another question, and the thing dries all the way up. And instead of just like, because they're right near a river, instead of just putting some more water back in his head and then dumping the water back out of its head.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. Like, just to, get a little moisturizer in there. And then ask it more questions. Like, he's just like, okay, well, I guess I can't figure out any more information in this thing. You have a nice life.
All right, peace.
Yeah, and I was like, man, like, you have the source, like, it can give you all the information you need. And you know that it can't beat you. It's like...
He was acting like it was, like, badass, and he didn't want to fight it again. But, he's got a giant stone hand.
Yeah, and then there's the other thing. Like, everything... After a while, he's like, "Oh, okay, now I'm really going to punch it with my stone land." Like, that's where he's fighting and fighting and fighting. And then he's like, "Okay, now it's time for you to get punched for serious."
It's like the one punch, like serious.
Yeah, death punch, consecutive normal punches.
Pipe.
Fucking so yeah, it's don't watch this movie. Hellboy animated Sword of Storm. What's up?
Well, first we didn't talk about the killer sandals.
Okay, there are some murderous sandals.
Yeah.
They will bite your feet off.
Teapots. Mrs. Teapot.
Toothy Teapot.
Toothy Teapot. It was a...
That kind of freaked Scott out. He's
killer scarf.
Now the scarf made sense. That was the only thing that made sense. It would have been cool if it like tried to hang her though. Like I know it would have been real brutal for this,
She
but like
got knocked out.
yeah, no, that would have been great though. It's just like hanging.
That whole scene was maybe like 2 or 3 minutes, and it was more fun than the entire rest of the movie. For some reason.
I was zoning out hard, so I don't know how much fun it
whatever.
was, but
Yeah, I mean, it was better than the rest. I wanted more of that.
Yeah, and then like Abe Sapien and what's her face are off. They're just off somewhere else fighting a thing, and then like they don't even beat it. Yeah, they don't even really beat it. It's just like Hellboy kills the demons and the thing goes away, and they're like, oh well, thank goodness we're just not good for anything.
Circle jerking for 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's God, this movie sucked.
Yeah, I mean, I took Selma Blair's character much better in the original Hellboy movie. In this, it's something like with her attitude and the way that she's drawn. It just, I don't like it at all.
Yeah, I mean, because if you take the phoned-in voice acting, on top of the crappy animation, on top of it is the same, like you're saying. Yeah. Oh, I don't like having fire powers. I guess I gotta use my fire powers now. Like, it's the exact same.
Fire powers are okay, and then back to I don't want to use my fire power.
Right. I mean, I would be burning the shit.
Yo, hell yeah!
What'd you say to me?
What's this raw food?
Pyrokinesis?
Nani?
Yeah, like,
Nani? Somebody said Nani the other day.
Yeah.
Like they understood the reference, and I was like, because something happened, and someone was like, Nani? And I was like, I love you.
Yeah. I'm like, yes! I'm gonna buy you a beer!
It's like fucking Captain Black. I understood that reference.
Oh, freaking! She lights the Kraken on fire the first time, and it was like, Nani?
Nani? Omaewa. Oh, Shinmu.
And we got to talk about the gun.
Oh my god, dude. Okay, so Hellboy's gun is like iconically awesome, fucking badass gun. It's just like
a dumb-looking flare gun.
Yeah, because it's all in one piece. You can't tell the chamber from the rest of the, like when you have a revolver, you can take out the like you put the bullets in, you take that piece out, slap it back together, fucking.
Yeah. Here we go.
Yeah, but no, this is like a flare gun. Yeah, where you just crack the top, push the bullet in, and fucking.
But he was pushing multiple bullets in.
Yeah,
it's like it doesn't spin because it can't because there's nothing on it to spin.
Right.
But it takes 6 bullets at least.
Magic. Demon magic.
But now
the unrevolving revolver.
The incredible unrevolving revolver.
It just like spins out.
Harry, step right up.
I don't want to talk about this movie anymore. I hate this. 1 week out of 3.
Damn, Scott is already fucking rating this motherfucker.
I'm just saying, like, I was so excited about Voltron this week. And, like, spoilers, we're going to talk about Voltron. But, like, I was like, wow.
Spoiler.
Like, after last time we did Anime-Niacs, and there was that horrible D&D, I was like, Anime-Niacs is dead.
Like, I killed him.
But, like, you watch something like that, and they're like, wow. Like, there's, like, it's so much great goodness. Yeah. There's still good in you. Like, there's so much greatness out there. I came here excited. I'm like, we're going to talk about Voltron. But like we usually talk about 2 things. We'll watch something. Yeah. While we hang out and drink.
There wouldn't be enough material.
And Dan was like, I've got Hellboy, and I'm like, I love Hellboy.
Yeah.
Like, let's do it. It couldn't be worse than D&D.
Oh no, it is just as bad.
No.
You don't think so?
It's not just as bad. It's bad, so? But this is bad and bland.
I think it's somehow worse because I had higher expectations.
That's fair.
Because I come into this like, Hellboy, let's do it.
Right.
But that's not like your expectations doesn't make like the film worse for everybody else, just for you.
Everyone bows to my objective opinion.
Well, no. I'm just saying.
I feel like this was worse than D&D because at least D&D was made in 1978.
No.
Wasn't D&D like the early 2000s as well?
Was that
early 2000s? Yes.
Shit. No, that'd be like 2001 or something.
No.
Okay, well, at least D&D was made in 1978.
At least I don't have
as I drink more beer.
It's a Ralph Bakshi film. It's fine.
No. Okay. Well, then they're equally terrible. They're just equally bad to me. Yeah.
I'll take that because that D&D with the CGI overlaid over the horribly drawn.
Yeah, that's why I feel like it was earlier than this.
No, it wasn't.
At least this didn't have any like bad CGI.
The clouds.
I think it might be later.
Oh, the clouds. Those are great.
There was one storm where you can see they spent all the money to just have these clouds swirl up, and that was about it.
There was like some animator, and he's like, I'm having trouble with these clouds. Like, why don't you CGI? I'm like, why don't we just what?
Man, we got
I'll
this computer.
Show you.
This one do like in 5 minutes. Like, look, here's clouds. He's like, what the fuck? It's like right at the end of the movie, so it's like,
yeah. No.
I wish we could do this for the whole movie. He's like, too late.
And also, this cost you $13,000 to do these clouds. So.
My time is very important.
Yeah, no, one geek out of 3 for me. Also, it's pretty freaking terrible. Hellboy animated Sword of Storms.
The box art is better than the whole movie.
Yeah,
it looks so cool.
Yeah.
Like I'm kind of happy that I get this cool little Hellboy thing.
Look at that. That's
because
badass.
That's
the cool
the only
insert.
good thing.
Yep.
The
So,
Hellboy in the movie didn't have character design.
Oh my god, his legs were like Lieffeldian legs in this one.
I'm all
They're like
or
2
like the
feet.
kinda-
The rest of them's all.
Oh,
like
dude.
a cartoony, like skinny leg Hellboy.
Yeah.
Like, but usually the rest of him is skinny too. Like he's kind of
Yeah, less mass to him.
But this was like a fucking granite block on
his
on top of
toothpicks.
toothpicks.
His
For
whole
sure.
head was too long too. It's like they just kind of like.
Well,
stretched it.
proportions
It was
were
weird.
all messed up in this.
Yeah. Fair enough. The one Japanese guy just looked like a 3.5 feet
Yeah.
compared to everybody else. I'm
Yeah.
like, that's weird.
Racist.
Dwarfism.
But no, not at all.
Who's to say he wasn't a little person, Dan?
A little
No one
Japanese
said that.
person.
Well, because when he gets possessed, he gets all like weird. And
Yeah, but he was
hunchbacked and
possessed
stuff.
and he grew from the possession.
That's thin.
I'm not actually trying to defend this movie. So.
That sounds like you are, sir.
I mean, I'm playing devil's advocate a little bit, but I don't honestly want anyone to think that I agree with anything in this movie. So I'm throwing this disclaimer out there.
Well, I am also giving this a 1 out of 3.
Yeah. Lame.
Damn, that's
Super
a
lame.
3 out of 9.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
Can
don't.
we give it lower?
yeah, you can. Since we all wish we'd never seen it, like that's
0.
yeah, that's the 0 geeks. Yeah,
But,
definitely 0 geeks from me.
Yeah.
No, one geek from me.
Yeah, it gets one
This,
from
this
Dan.
doesn't get as bad as D&D. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Scott. It just doesn't.
D&D out of 3 geeks.
D&D.
That's not like
Oh man. Okay,
Um,
let's talk
D&D
about it.
is the
What
lower
else?
spectrum. Mrs. Takazawa is the highest.
Mrs. Takazawa is the
Mrs.
highest award
Highest
anything
honor.
can be given. The Takazawa award is earned, not given.
nice. Like
I can't wait for something to earn the Takazawa.
I
This-
want to see this trophy.
This Ultron season.
This is the best
It's pretty
season
close.
of Voltron,
Let's-
but this is not earn a Takazawa.
I mean, it may earn one in retrospect, but it doesn't earn.
Well,
one
No, I mean, like I think Voltron, the
Takazawa
whole
has to,
series,
like,
might.
crush expectation.
Yeah,
yeah.
and
It's like, what's this fucking movie?
Holy
Right.
crap!
What?
yeah.
I expected Voltron to be good.
Yeah.
Like maybe not.
It's
like I
always
said,
solid. It's
yeah.
always solid.
It's always at least solid.
But
But okay,
this
so
season
season
was
6,
great.
season 6 of Voltron. Polish my blazing sword.
Woo!
No.
This is my favorite season so far of Voltron.
Yes,
I friggin' dug it. There's a lot of payoff in this season.
Which I had heard because there was like a fucking article that came out right when they announced like the release date of this, and they're like the creators like promised to wrap up like some of those like remaining
Loose ends?
Yeah.
I mean, you can't just keep making them stretch out into.
Well,
forever.
they've been pretty good about tying stuff
Yeah.
up. Like they took care of Pidge's dad, and then they took care of his brother. And,
Yeah.
like, they've been
Her.
good about like kind of keeping things.
Pitch is a her.
That's her. Yeah.
Pidge
Pidge is a he. Katie.
is a she. Anyway, freaking yes.
See, so good at the male persona, it fooled me.
Wow.
Yeah. So like this one, we get to see the origins of Keith, and we get to.
That was a really cool episode.
Yeah, I like that whole like weird time whale thing that they had going on.
Because they're like jumping.
Oh,
through.
Spoilers, by the way.
Yeah. Sorry. They're like
go watch it right
these.
now, or else stop listening.
Yeah. Yes. There's some massive gravitational anomaly. They gotta like fly around.
There's like some interstellar shit going on here.
Yeah.
Where they're like experiencing
time
time
slippage.
on an accelerated rate than like the rest of the universe.
Right.
Because like it's been 2 years and they go back and like they're still like doing the same
3
shit
weeks
they were
later.
doing like a week ago.
But the waves keep hitting them, and they get these cool flashbacks for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Like
they're on a crazy massive trip.
Yeah. They're like, oh yeah, this is when I was born.
Oh, okay. Sorry, just a little segue. That show Legion.
Tony Stark listen to Cave.
There's a character who has like a perfect memory, and he's like, "Yeah, I remember being born. It is like it was terrible." But yeah, no. So yeah, Keith. You get the story of Keith, where his mother is a Galra agent of the what do they call it?
The Blade of Marmora.
Yes. And she crash lands on Earth after discovering the blue line. She, kills all of her Galra. She's, embedded in the Galra away team.
Yeah, the scout ships.
Yeah, and she, protects the lion, falls in love with Keith's dad. They have a baby.
I mean,
it's a good thing that
he's not Keith's dad yet, but he will be.
Yeah, he ends up being Keith's dad. I'm glad anatomy
works out.
Yeah, the genetics just kind of work. No, they don't go into that. They explain a lot of shit. They don't explain that.
Comes out looking like the Wolfman. You're
yeah.
Like, oh, whoa.
But like his eyes get yellow when he's like angry. Sometimes in this season, he gets like kind of the Galra eyes, which I thought was kind of cool. Because like usually they didn't really do anything. Like, oh, you're part Galra. It's like what?
Yeah,
and they don't really do anything.
What feel part Galra?
Yeah, I don't know.
But no, it's yeah, it was good. I dug it. That was a good episode. There's only one episode. I mean, it's only 7 episodes long, so there's not a lot of extra space. But they do cram one filler episode in there. But it was very enjoyable. Yeah. I'm always down for a D&D episode of anything.
Yeah.
Like they do it a lot. No, this one was good. I like how it was sort of they meld because it's D&D and then it's like a little bit Skyrim and a little bit. Because it's like a little bit video game, a little bit Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. Like, oh, I'm smashing pots to get
stuff.
Money.
Yeah.
And when they get something, it makes like a Dragon Warrior-esque sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, that was a good episode. Yeah, probably the best episode to date is the Black Paladins. Episodes 5 or 6, and just awesome badass fight scene between Keith and Shiro.
Shiro fight.
That's when Shiro gets activated as Manchurian candidate. So
it turns out he's been a clone since his fight with Zarkon, which I thought was kind of cool. They're like, because like he fights Zarkon in his black line, and they're like, oh, he disappeared, and like, no, he died. Like Zarkon vaporized him pretty much.
But his spirit lives on in the black line.
Yeah, which is like cool. Like it's kind of a ballsy thing to do.
Yeah, no, that's all good.
Like I put Zarkon in a coma.
I kind of would have liked it if they just killed Shiro.
Yeah. Like, well,
and, maybe play with the clone angle later. Because like if they did it once, they can clone him again. Like they, whatever.
They just keep him like in a basement somewhere and just like beat him. Like you're Shiro. Beat Shiro.
But I understand. Like I also am glad that it didn't get rid of Shiro altogether because he's like an interesting character.
Yeah,
totally. But like I always just. Like I figured what they were gonna do was, when he's in the lion space, talking to Keith. I just figured like every now and again when they needed a Shiro moment, he would, they would do that, or he would become part of the cast.
Yeah, no, I figured he would be in the lion like for the rest of the series.
Yeah, but like, he's back. That's cool. I'm down. Shiro's a cool character.
Like I don't want that one. It's haunted.
It's creepy. I feel like he's watching me.
He's got his hand in the stroller again.
Why do I feel both hands? Anyway,
where's that going?
Yeah, their fight scene was all sorts of amazing.
Yeah,
like ridiculously cool. Like like had no right to be that cool.
No, it was badass. It was good. And then like Lotor builds his own Voltron, and that battle was freaking Voltron versus
it's like
Mega
almost
Voltron.
the entire episode.
Yeah.
I heard somebody. I was reading through some comments, and somebody was complaining that there weren't more road beasts in the show, and like what you want, like a fucking monster of the week.
Yeah,
shit, like that's so boring. Like they did it for the first season, that worked because it's like
the first season,
right?
Yeah, but then like
we want to tell stories.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's like fucking Lotor shows up in a Voltron, and like their episode, like the fight is like the entire episode.
Yeah, it is. And
it's like
awesome.
it's like no, you don't know what you're talking about.
You finally like get the real Lotor. It's because like I feel like up to this point it's been his public facade.
Yeah,
I love how back and forth he is with everything.
Yeah, and it also plays into like what they're talking about, like when you're in this quintessence field or whatever like that, it drives you insane. Like just because a person isn't supposed to suck up that much, you're not supposed to snort that much quintessence.
Have all that power.
Like I like how he like scares his wingmen away. He's like, I'm gonna kill everything. I'm gonna kill those guys. I'm gonna go back and kill the Cora.
And
I'm gonna come over here. And I'm gonna be the
freaking worship me, or they will die. And everyone's like, "Hey, bro, I'm not really down.
Time to go."
He's such like even when he's like, "All right, let's go fight the lions," and they get there, and he's like still trying to like kind of like
because he wanted Allura.
He did want Allura.
So he's like, okay, I can public face Allura over to my side.
Yeah.
And
they're like, what's he doing? Like, why doesn't he just shoot?
And it's like, nah, dude, I'm trying to get that sweet punani. But it doesn't work out.
And then he's like, all right, well, just die then.
Well, no, but it's also cool too because like you find out that he's had this whole secret, like he'd taken, gotten the rest of the Alteans together and started up a colony, had that going. Freaking starts taking them up and using their quintessence, for whatever, trying to figure out secrets of Altean technology. So, after Allura finds that out, she's like, there's no forgiveness for that.
Yeah, of course that kills them. Yeah.
He
didn't say that.
He sucks out their life force.
There you go.
And shit. But yeah, so everyone finds this out, and now it's public knowledge, and he still thinks he can. Yeah, he can salvage his relationship.
Fine.
He's like, come on, guys! I did it all in the name of good. So
in the name of science. Yeah, I mean, that can never be a bad thing.
Blinded me with science. But and then it just doesn't work out. And I like how like batshit Allura goes.
Yeah,
he's like, no, fuck you, dude.
I like how much more she got to do this season.
Yeah. And then it's cool too because last season she leveled up. She's
like, all right, I'm a paladin now.
Yeah. So and I don't know, because even more than that, because like she got the when they went into the
lion space. And she learned like the alchemic secrets. And stuff.
Right. So they need to have her doing more, and it was good.
Yeah, I like how she's not just like a support character.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's kind of how she started out. She's like, oh, I'm a princess, blah blah blah.
Corin.
And I mean, like, and this is the other thing too. It's like the beats that they pull from the original Voltron. They just do it so much better in this, because one of the guys did die or whatever the hell, and then like she had to take over, and it was really lame back then, and they did. And now they did it awesome.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and I mean like he's like Keith had to take over, and she stepped in, and then like Shiro comes back, so Keith is like, all right, well, you got the leader you need. I can go bounce these blade guys and do my thing.
That's really where I want to be.
Right. And then that's awesome. And they got to explore a whole other line with that. And then, like he comes back and blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, they just everything that they're really snatching up just like the good beats and using that in their story now. And it's just freaking awesome.
I wish they gave Hunk a little bit more to do.
Yeah.
I feel like he's kind of just like
comedy relief.
Yeah,
he's like half of the comic relief, maybe even a third of it, because like Lance, Coran, and Hunk are all kind of like they all have very.
Well, no, but Lance is more.
Lance is getting there.
Hunk had that whole arc where you learn Gagarin.
That was cool. That was the first episode. Yeah. That was only the first episode.
I love that. How he you learn like what Repet Saw means and all that stuff. I was like, wow, that's really cool. Like.
And yeah, and then like when he freaking drill sergeants them a little bit back into shape.
Yeah,
Like, are you Gara? Or are you a bunch of little whiny bitches? And they're like, we're fucking Gara. He's like, well, you better act like it. No. So yeah, Hunk did get a little piece, but I definitely see what you're saying where he's just kind of side character. But I mean, it's hard to juggle an ensemble.
He's always like second fiddle to Pidge. He's like kind of a lesser Pidge.
Yeah.
Because Pidge is like, I'm the super smart engineer. Hunk's like,
well,
I'm the kind of almost
well,
as
because
smart.
like Pidge is like the tech, and Hunk is the engineer. So like Hunk can build what Pidge needs, but Pidge uses that, and yada. It's like, and Pidge could probably build it too.
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, they don't ever give Hunk like his own real thing because you feel like Pidge could probably just do it.
Yeah, by herself. Herself.
Yes.
Herself. Yeah.
But no, I mean, still though, and then also it's weird too because in that first episode, Hunk gets a new power.
Yeah,
like he levels up his Voltron again, and then they never use that again
because they do the cool. I like that a lot, like the fucking orbital shield.
Yeah.
And, so like Hunk got like an episode, but that's the thing. Like Keith and Shiro and everyone like it's like
like they're the whole arcs. Yeah, this is the culmination of 3 seasons with Keith and Shiro, and then Hunk is like, I got an episode.
But like Pidge was like the driving force for like the first like 3 or 4 seasons. Like, I need to find my dad and my brother, and then they found him, and now she's just kind of like in the background, which is fair. Yeah, like she got her time to shine, and now her arc is kind of resolved. Like, and she can do important things when she needs to do them. But I think Hunk needs like an arc.
I mean, and who's to say? The only thing is like, after everything's wrapped up in this season, like, what are they gonna do next season? I mean, because like I guess the Galrus Empire still exists. Obviously, Lotor is in the quintessence somewhere or something.
He's coming back. If not next season, then season after for sure. Like,
so I think next season is going to be what's his face with the arm thing.
Seldoc. Not Seldoc.
Seldoc. I don't know.
Not Seldoc. What's his name?
Sendak.
That's it.
Kind of like Seldoc, though.
Isn't that what freaking...
He's been to prison.
I think
that's what Gandalf says to open the door.
I think Seldoc was the fucking bad guy from a Star Trek game.
Oh, okay. Anyway. Sendak. I think he's going to be the main. And then Hagar. Obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Minerva.
Yeah, that's right.
I think she's going to be like kind of the end-all, be-all bad guy in the end.
Cool.
I think because she seems underused, but underused like on purpose. Where they want to keep her really mysterious. Yeah, and I think she's gonna kind of be like
she's always like puppet mastering, and then like dipping out when she gets real. So
so I think she's gonna.
Which is the way you properly puppet master.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's why when people are like, "Oh, she's so underused," I'm like, I think it's kind of intentional. Like there's shit going on.
But she revived Sendak, didn't she? She brought him back.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if Zarkon comes back, like to some degree. Huh. Maybe not like full force, but if she like revives his corpse.
I feel like they already did that though, and then he got killed.
It's hard to say.
But we honestly don't know. It's really open right now, so
maybe there won't be.
Everything they've done well.
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
Because like we were talking about last time, like the whole Lotor, like curse your inevitable, but
curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
And like they did it in a way where it made sense with how it was happening when it happened.
Yeah, absolutely. And then again, like he's slowly being driven more and more insane the more he uses the technology that he built, because he just didn't realize like that's what happens. But then like they're doing the whole fight, and Allura realizes like, hey, like this shit is not good for us.
Yeah, we need to get out of
It's so worth it for that like complete snap though.
Yes. Oh no, dude, like it's done so well.
That's my favorite part of this season is when Lotor just finally goes batshit insane.
Yeah.
And which like kill everything. Which like they knew you saw it coming, but they did it so well.
Yeah,
it's like
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. 3 out of 3 geeks for me. I always recommend Voltron, but this season is the cherry.
I've been talking about it like more to like even to people who like
don't care at all.
Past seasons, I wouldn't like
You're just going down the street, you're grabbing people like, "Watch Voltron!
What's wrong with you? Why haven't you watched Voltron?"
Well, like we got my dad a Netflix subscription for Father's Day this year.
Okay.
And I was like, "You should check out Voltron. Like, you would like it.
You probably dig it. I'm just saying." No, it was so
scroll for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Read the scroll real quick.
Yeah. Scroll the fuck out.
Did we explain why this is called Polish My Sword?
Oh yeah, they were talking about polishing swords in Hellboy.
In Hellboy, at some point in time, they were like, oh yeah, no, because the guy who owned the demon sword was like, oh, I was just polishing my sword
at like 10 at night.
Okay. And by the way, Scott, fuck you. Okay.
Okay.
Scott,
why this time?
Scott promised us Blazing Sword this season.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
And the only Blazing Sword.
Trailer promised us Blazing Sword.
No, you were the messenger, and I will shoot the messenger every time.
You got Blazing Sword. It was in the Monsters and Mana episode.
No,
technically, there was a sword that was on fire when they go into the quintessence.
But no, okay,
they've already had that fire sword before.
Oh, well, okay.
They've done the fire sword back in season like 2 or something.
Right. And like the thing that got me was in the Monsters and Mana episode, and this is why I thought that episode was going to be like that was going to be the only thing that made it like not just a filler episode, is Shiro picks up the freaking Blazing Sword. It looks exactly like the Blazing Sword.
Like, a blazing
it lights on fire. It's the Blazing Sword.
It even says a Blazing Sword.
Holy crap. And
yeah.
Freaking Shiro gets the Blazing Sword in the D&D episode, Monsters and Mana. Eminem, so I guess it's Eminem. But yeah. And I was like, okay, so this is gonna give them like the idea of it. And then when Keith is fighting Shiro at the end and he gets the Black Bayard.
And then he comes back.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's on. Blazing Sword time. And it's like, form the sword. I was like, no. Oh my goodness. I was so disappointed.
Well, even when it was like form sword, I expected it to be like, this is new.
Yeah.
Really? But it wasn't.
No, it was not.
Because in the trailer, you don't really, you just see it like bring like a flaming blade up.
Yeah.
You don't see the tip with the fucking like prongs. It's just like, oh, well, that's got to be it.
Right. No, it's not. They refuse to give us the Blazing Sword.
They know we want it though.
I guess that's next season.
Oh, gee, really? You think that they know we want it with the whole Blazing Sword part, and then it catches on fire.
Oh my god, dude! It's sort of like I like it because it's playing on your expectations. Yeah, exactly. I love a good troll.
Yeah,
that's why I liked Avengers: Age of Ultron, when they like give you every opportunity to know that Hawkeye is gonna die, and then I guess he didn't die. Yeah, no, I love that. So, come on, that was 12 years old now. But
1978, right?
They got me with that Blazing Sword, man. I was like, oh god, here it comes. Nope.
It was in the trailer. It was in the episode leading up to it. Yeah. It was everywhere.
Man, god, that was really aggravating.
If they keep going with like 6, 7 episodes per season, we got like 4 seasons left.
Before the Blazing Sword?
I'm just saying in general, because they have a 70 to 80
the
episode
contract
commitment with Netflix. Right. Which, like, if they end it, like, I'm sure they're gonna end it and it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
If they drag it out even more,
I don't want that.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm sure they haven't let me down yet. I'm sure they have like a fixed story and like, all right, we can do this in this amount of time.
Right.
And it's gonna be fine.
I just want the fucking Blazing Sword so bad.
I don't want.
But I mean, like that's Endgame too, because like once they have that, like,
but you get Blazing Sword, but then we're back to Monster of the Week.
Right.
But they also like went into the quintessence field and were like, Voltron's capable of like more we could have even imagined.
Yeah.
That would kind of be funny if it turns into One Punch Man at that point. He just gets a Blazing Sword. So like every week.
Voltron, help!
Oh, look at
blazing sword.
And he's
How are we
like,
gonna
Hey
do
guys,
this?
can we not bring out the blazing sword one time? Just like see how it goes.
I got poker
Yeah,
tonight,
For old
man. I
time's
gotta-
sake,
Yeah,
I'm thinking blazing sword.
Lance is like, no, I'm trying to hit that fucking pink paladin. You know what I'm saying? So let's get back to the castle. So yeah, the castle gets destroyed.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That was pretty cool.
Nice.
No, like I like that whole deal where they had they had just enough power left to shoot one time, and they don't bother with any like targeting malfunction.
Like you watch like Gundam or like anything else, and they'll try to draw that part out and aim, and the little reticles like flying everywhere. You're like, oh, I've only got one shot.
I gotta
left.
make it count.
No,
I gotta make it count.
Koran is driving the whole thing there, and he's like, oh, I've only got enough power for one shot. He just slaps the button and it hits the.
Yeah,
Like,
I was
nice.
like, okay, we do have hyper sophisticated computers infused with magic. Like, yes, push the button, it will hit.
I loved his whole like finding his grandpa's toolbox
Yeah.
with like the bottle of like liquor in it, and he uses the liquor to jumpstart the engine.
Oh man, like his granddad is a fucking lush.
Yeah, no, he was fucking getting drunk and fixing the castle lines every day.
That's how they
You
can't
think-
remember
You
what.
think he was all like just disgruntled, like bumming about the castle, like friggin' thing breaks again. Go, just like, oh, I'm always fixing this stupid castle.
He's just drinking in like the mop closet, like,
Yeah.
you're my only friend, Mop.
Abba Zabba, you're my
But that's-
only friend.
That's how they can't remember what their shit does, is because they were all
Yeah.
blitzed when they were making it. I don't know what the castle does, but
I think I built it to do this. I just don't know.
Blazing
You know-
sword, awesome.
So like shooting into that black hole, and it gets like fucking like crushed into a crystal. You know
Yeah.
that crystal is gonna be the new like power source
Yeah, absolutely.
because they're taking it back to Earth to build a new one.
Yes. So they're heading back home. So that's gonna be interesting. Maybe this is where Hunk gets his
He goes back
It's his
home.
time to shine.
I'm home, yeah, and he just eats all the time.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I get to be a fat guy again. No, I've always been a fat guy.
I miss being a fat guy for 3 minutes.
I mean, I know I would
kinda-
miss bacon so much.
They brought the cow with them.
Yeah, but that's not bacon.
I forgot
And
about
they
the cow.
also didn't eat the cow.
Yeah, that's true. But I
Lance
forgot about the cow.
saves
until
the cow
Lance was
again.
putting the cow
Man.
on the fucking red line.
That was hilarious, actually.
But I mean, like, I would
Yeah,
also
yeah.
carry the food source around with me. Like, hey, cow, if times get
a long fucking
yeah,
drive back to
if it gets
Earth.
a little dicey,
Steaks.
we got steaks for days.
I mean, they don't have the fucking whatchamacallit, the wormhole thing from the castle
Right, so
to
they
get
go-
back to
Uh,
Earth.
Yeah, but now they have freaking. All you gotta do is see them. You
Yeah,
know, like,
yeah.
Well, it's just for Keith and the Black Lion.
yeah. Well, Keith is in the Black Lion.
Can you form Voltron and do it?
I mean, who's to say they can't? They did
I mean,
get a little bit.
Everybody can just close their eyes,
Right,
and,
and
concentrate and believe.
But he needed Shiro's help, and Shiro's not in the Black Lion anymore.
Well,
Yeah, but now he already
he
has the
knows how to
knowledge
do
of
it.
Well,
Yeah.
Friggin' oh, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, like the end of this season, like they do a pretty good job of. It's not like, oh, look at this convenient thing Voltron can do now. They do hit you like 4 or 5 times with that at the end of the season though. So that was kind of but again, it's still just so well done that you don't.
it's
really
so
care.
solid up until that point that it's like, all right.
Yeah, because you come to expect it now. Like, oh wow, well, no one got any weird shooting plants powers this time.
There was one thing that I didn't like. That was in like the first or second episode when they're putting up that big shield around the planet. First episode? Okay.
Yeah.
Like when Pidge is holding Shiro's hand against the thing,
Yeah.
and he's having those blackouts, and it happens, and he doesn't come loose, and I'm like, man, I'm glad they didn't pull the whole stupid thing where he comes loose and then they all have to do stuff, and then he does it, and I'm like, son of a like I thought you were better than that, Voltron.
Well, they did that because they knew at the end of the season they weren't going to do the targeting.
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
But also played
Fair
into Shiro's arc.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Okay.
because like Hagar was going to the magical lion place
The magical lion
that
place.
that Allura and Lotor went to, so like she needed his memory to
Mm-hmm.
get there. So I mean, I can see both sides of that.
Yeah.
It definitely was like a let's stall it for time kind of deal, but
It's just a little thing.
yeah,
you know.
again, like it's easily forgivable just because everything else is so good.
Yeah, because like when it pulls like a fucking cliche, it usually does it in such a way that it's like so high quality. It's like allow it.
Yep, I'll allow it.
Well, that's cliched, but then you get to see the cool CGI, lions fight stuff and
And
jump around and everything.
there's only like 6 or 7 formings of Voltron.
Yeah,
There were 3 this season.
3? No, there's like 2 in the last episode.
There's 3 or 4.
3 or 4.
In 7 episodes, that's less than 1 an episode.
Oh, dude, yeah, no,
Yeah,
it was
fine.
like we don't need to see
I
that
still
every
got
time.
annoyed.
I wish they would just change, like give us a different animation.
I smile every time I see that now because
They don't need
it doesn't
the
bother me
animation.
in the least.
No,
They
they don't
did
need
it.
to.
They did it in one season where they're all in the lions, and then they cut to the Galra like closing in, and then Voltron just like comes out like fully formed.
Yeah.
So they don't even need the animation. They can just show Voltron.
No, but I mean, like, if you are going to show the forming of Voltron, give us a different animation every time. It's like, okay, I see where you assholes are saving money because you paid for this in the first episode of the first season. You're like, that's when that got paid for. Now you're just using the stock footage because you're a bunch of lazy assholes.
But it is only like it feels longer than it is.
Yeah.
So like when you actually time it, like you really aren't saving that much time by inserting this 10-second, 15-second animation.
Yeah. Like Netflix gives you the option to skip the intro. You should be able to skip
the Voltron forming.
Skip Voltron forming. Yeah. I'd be down for that. We'll talk to Netflix about that. We get on that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like, because it still feels like the Paladins are way more excited to do it than they should be. Because I feel like they probably formed Voltron more times than the animation.
Dude,
like, there's a lot of
I'd
off
be
screen,
excited
like,
every
we've been working
time
hard
if I
to liberate the universe.
I would be excited every time if I got to form Voltron.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but every time,
robot.
either Shiro or Keith are like, all right, team, form Voltron!
Like, yes! Oh, man.
I would have been doing that shit from the get-go for most of these situations.
I think they just like having a reason to slam those freaking things forward,
They don't even like show the slamming bit. Like that's exciting when they show them
like
slamming the
Bayard
Bayards.
in, and like, God, I should have had Blazing Sword this season. Oh my God, he even put his Bayard in the thing,
And he was like, "Let's go, sword!"
Just a regular bitch ass sword.
Regular bonfire sword. Oh, fuck.
All right, ratings. Dan.
3 out of 3. Or actually, no. 3.2 out of 3.
He's making up geeks out of the quintessence.
We got
Yes, I am.
quintessence.
I mean, I
decimal point.
I can only make like 1/5 of a geek, but I'm getting there.
Scott, how you
3
feel?
out of 3 geeks. Yeah, no, like Max said, that was something like on the way over. I'm like, this is not even on the way over. Like the whole time, like this is my favorite season of the show.
Yeah,
by far. Like absolutely. I don't know what I've given out previous seasons.
Yeah.
Like, I think there might have been a couple 2s. I mean, we also might not have been using this rating system for the first few seasons.
No, we weren't. See, that's why I must create geeks from the ether.
Yeah.
So Dan gives it 3 geeks, and then his imagination makes up some
3.2 geeks.
The quintessence.
So I've already said it, 3 out of 3 geeks for me. It was just, it's my favorite season. It's a lot of fun. There's not enough time for bullshit. Because, again, 7 episodes is not long at all. Like, you get like 23 minutes an episode.
Yeah.
So it really goes by very quickly. And then that's not a detraction. It's good that they have these constraints. Like, I feel like you need to rein these guys in some way or shape to make them creative, you know, like because otherwise it's like, let's do everything, and then it turns out to be the big bloated mess. So definitely down. This season was awesome. Absolutely go watch it. Do we got anything else? Do we got any plans? Is there anything you've been watching? Any cartoons?
Not really.
I saw Incredibles 2.
I haven't seen that yet.
I definitely.
You guys put a review up.
Written one. I don't think we've done an actual video review, but
I thought you did. But or was that Jurassic World?
Jurassic World and Tag. Yeah. So
I'm gonna check Incredibles out this week.
It is solid. Not as good as the first one, but it's still very, very good. I'm
gonna check it out. I still haven't gotten Avatar on Blu-ray. I know it's out. I need to check it out.
Oh,
I've been looking at fucking quality comparisons, and like the Blu-ray looks so much better.
Oh yeah, I got Korra.
I was thinking Cameron's Avatar, and I was like, that's been out for freaking ever. Dude.
Yeah,
like,
that was pretty much born on Blu-ray.
Yeah, Korra, you got Korra.
Yeah.
Still waiting on Castlevania.
Yeah.
They said this summer, but I haven't heard anything since they said.
June, but it might be July. That's supposed to come out.
I'm hoping.
I'm waiting on that for sure.
Yeah.
I was just watching. I rewatched that recently.
After the way the priest dies in the end there, it's so good.
I mean, that fucking the duel between Alucard and Trevor is still like the highlight of that series, and that's why I want more. Because I want
Castlevania 3. I want to play you again.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode of Anime-Niacs. Polish my blazing sword. I'm Max.
I'm Scott.
I'm Dan.
And we'll catch you guys later. Recycle your droids.
Motherfucker.